If you want to know what a choker looks like after a 2-year-old's got hold of it, you've come to the right place. This is what it looks like. Athena's had hold of this. It's no longer a choker, it's a necklace now that sort of resembles a choker. I thought I'd come to you guys with a bit of a chatty video, a little bit of a vlog. Sorta. So I'm here with you guys today shooting on my new camera, which is the Canon AED, which I've not entirely figured out how to use yet, but it is really similar to the Canon 60D in the way where the functions are, only this one has a touch screen and autofocus, so now I never have to worry about being out of focus. Setting up my camera was always one of the most annoying things in the whole entire world. I thought that I would come to you guys with a little bit of a laid back video and discuss some of my annoying habits, because who doesn't love watching videos about other people's annoying habits? So let's crack straight into it and talk about some of my annoying habits. So straight away, I'm going to talk about my eyebrows. My eyebrows are seriously one of my #1 pet peeves, because I used to be utterly obsessed with trying to get them as identical as possible. Now, we all know they're supposed to be siblings, they're supposed to be, you know, sisters, they're not supposed to be twins. I think we all go through a period in our lives where we want them to just be identical as we can get them. And now with Instagram about, everybody's looking for these perfect HD. I think they're naturally sisters, but everybody wants them to be twins. With this comes one of my most annoying habits: overplucking my eyebrows. I naturally have really dark hair because I'm half Greek, and even though my hair is like bleached at the moment, you can't really see my roots that well. Well, you probably can, because let's be fair, dark hair, we get roots within like 3 days of bleaching it. Seriously, like, the darker your hair, the more prominent it is. No matter what you dye it, no matter how you dye it, if you've got Mediterranean hair, it just wants to come through within like 2 days. It's the same with like armpit hair, leg hair, pubic hair, all of the hair just comes back within minutes. In regards to my eyebrows, it's something that I do a lot when I'm stressed, and especially do it when I'm anxious as well. I always want to be doing something with my hands, and if I'm sat down at my computer and I'm watching YouTube videos, for example, I'll just end up looking for dark hairs, and then once I start, I don't stop. I will literally go on a mission, and you are not safe. You are not safe if you are one of my eyebrow hairs, and you are not where I want you to be. Even if you are where you're supposed to be, I'm probably going to remove you by accident at some point. So yeah, wow, that sounded like some kind of innuendo for something much more sinister, slightly murderous. I also find myself plucking my eyebrows when I'm trying to relax, because I find it sort of therapeutic. And I remember at one point in my life, I used to hate plucking my eyebrows. It used to be painful, but now it's as if I'm just numb to it and I almost sort of enjoy it. A little part of me was thinking about getting my eyebrows tattooed on, purely for the fact that it would take away this sort of bad habit of mine of just over plucking the shit out of them, or just spending too much time plucking hairs when the more fiddly I'm feeling. My eyebrows are just like an instant target. Seriously, naturally, my eyebrows are quite dark anyway. That's why they're continuously changing shape. You'll notice that sometimes they're arched, and sometimes they're a lot thicker, and sometimes a lot thinner, because what you'll see is the majority of my natural eyebrow, but I want to shape it out towards the ends or towards the beginning, and that sort of fluctuates. I either overpluck here or overpluck here. Just need to leave my eyebrows the fuck alone. They're my #1 pet peeve. I overpluck the shit out of them all the time. Take my tweezers from me. Seriously, I need somebody to confiscate my tweezers for like a month. That would be the hardest month of my entire existence, because I just feel the need to pluck, but I wish that I didn't feel the need to pluck as much as I do. So let me know if any of you guys do that. Another annoying habit of mine is biting the sides of my fingers. I'm not a nail biter at all. You won't catch me biting my nails and kind of ripping them off with my teeth, but what you will catch me doing is this. Once I start, I can't stop. I'm getting lipstick all over my hand now. It's gross. It's really gross. But once I start, I just can't stop. If you was to look at the state of my hands, which I will show you just purely to prove this point, what happened to my voice then, I'm going to show you guys my fingers just so you can actually see the damage. So I've got guitar calluses on one hand, fair enough. But then on the other hand, which is my right hand, which isn't anywhere near the fretboard of a guitar, it's just really kind of hard because I've been biting the shit out of my fingers. Not only have I bit the shit out the sides of my fingers, there's one finger in particular that I scarred over at a really early age because I just bit the side of it and continued to bite it whenever I was nervous or anxious, especially through childhood. Like in school, I remember, I think that's definitely when it started. In primary school, I started biting the side of this finger, and I call it the wonky finger. And if you've been here for a while, you'll remember that I made a joke in a video ages ago, like literally ages ago, about how whenever I give people the middle finger, it's bent. Isn't that the most ugliest finger you've ever seen in your life? My middle finger is bent, and if we see this, that's where I've bit the shit out of it. This could gross a few people out. I don't know if it's... Yeah, I've probably broken this at some point, but yeah, I started biting the shit out of it here. It's not ideal, and if we was to look at the sides of my fingers, I bite the shit out the sides of my fingers, and I can't stop it. But yeah, the skin at the sides of my fingers is just, it's been ripped apart. It's just been chewed on. If you look at my hands, it just looks like I've chosen to eat my hands instead of food, pretty much. If somebody else starts as well biting the sides of the fingers, I'm straight onto mine. Contagious almost. I know that I've got a few friends that bite the nails and they say it's the same for them. I'm just about biting the sides of my fingers like all the time. So the next thing is another annoying habit of mine, but it's more so something that annoys other people rather than annoying me directly. But it sort of annoys me because I know that it annoys other people, and it's something that I can't change. No matter what, I try so hard not to do this next thing, but I always end up doing it. It's just like, oh, I just can't stop the next thing. And that is talking over people. Just before they're about to finish the sentence, in I come with my reply. I could just wait a few seconds or a minute and just let them finish the sentence, but nope, I'm just like, my brain is just in there straight away, and it is one of the worst habits I have. I either absorb the information really fast and find myself just like replying over the end of the sentence, or they'll finish the sentence and then a whole minute will pass and then I'll reply. So I'm either really quick and I speak over people and I'm just dead giddy towards the end of the sentence. I don't speak over people while they're trying to speak to me. That's just rude, and it's just common manners not to do that. I don't do that, but what I do is come in just as they're closing the sentence. It's like I already know what they're about to say and I've replied. I'm never wrong in that way. I never kind of just jump in and they're about to say something that would completely throw my reply off. My response is always accurate to what they're saying, but I just come in like there's no tomorrow, and it's just bad. It's not good. You should always wait till somebody's finished speaking to you before you reply. But luckily, I can't speak over the camera. If you hate people that say what or pardon pretty much all the time, you're gonna hate me, because I must be hard of hearing or something, because one ear is definitely worse than the other ear. I have a good ear and I'm only 25, which is not good. My hearing just is not the best. This is something that annoys everybody around me. What? Pardon? My ears are not that great. So if you ever see me, shout my name. Don't just kind of go Jess and hope that I hear you. Just shout Jess, because literally there is no guarantee that I am going to hear you at all, because I've either got headphones in, Athena's talking to me, or these ears. Not good for a 25-year-old, not good. But that's what you get for spending a lot of time in band rooms, practice rooms, playing gigs, going to gigs, just absorbing in that whole environment where there's a PA system and a drum kit behind you and noise everywhere. That's to blame. And also listening to my headphones on the highest volume, which we all do, and we know we shouldn't. Had a lot of fun, but now it's a case of hello. They don't look like this shit, but they are. My ears, by the way, not the earrings. I actually love these earrings, by the way. A good friend of mine who made these, she has an awesome jewelry business. Go check them out on Instagram, by the way. Just randomly mentioning this in the middle of a video, but these are so cool. And by Kira Don Jewel. Another bad habit of mine, being shit at replying to people. Now, this is something that I am really guilty of. I am that person that thinks they have sent a reply and hasn't. I swear I reply to people in my head and convince myself I've replied to that person when I haven't. Like literally, I'll write a text, think I've sent it, and then get distracted by something. I'll look back and be like, uh-oh, and then I'll send it, and then I'll be like, sorry about that, I just wrote the text and forgot to send it to you. It's a regular thing for me. It's funny because some days I can be a little bit of a social butterfly and have like 3 audio WhatsApp conversations going at once, and I'll just be like, check me out. But then other days I'll have 3 WhatsApp audio messages to reply to, and I'll see that one's 10 minutes long and another one's 3 minutes long, and instead of opting for the shorter one and kind of easing myself into it and then listening to the longer one and then replying to both, I'll just see both of them, add the number together and be like, that's a little bit daunting for right now. My head is just so all over the place. I've just got to leave that for a little bit and come back to it. And then sometimes 2 weeks pass and then I'm like, oh shit. But then there'll be other days where I'm just like this little social butterfly. Anybody else that has a 2-year-old will know that you can't really be on your phone as much as you used to beforehand, kind of thing. I find that Athena steals my phone from me. Sometimes when I'm midway through replying to somebody, Athena will have my phone like a little ninja, and she'll just be like, ha 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 ha. And I said to myself, I wouldn't give her my new phone. I wouldn't give her my new phone at all, because I'm pretty sure she's the one that scratched the lens of the camera on my old iPhone. So I didn't want to let Athena anywhere near this iPhone, and I did, and boy is she, hid it in a few interesting places. Another annoying habit of mine is I tap on everything. Give me a pencil, give me a pen, I'll have a drum kit, literally. I am that person that taps on everything. I'm the person in the corner of the classroom that you hated in school that was just making little annoying noises, and it was just like they were doing it to annoy everybody and I was just doing it to focus. But it's something that I've kind of just brought into adulthood, and it's still something that I do. If I'm sitting down at my desk, I'll be tapping my foot just like a million miles an hour. It's so annoying, and I think that's something that I've picked up to kind of replace the fact that I tend to tap on everything. So obviously if I'm trying to do some work or I'm trying to kind of do something productive, it's not going to help if my hands are just like, I feel like I always have to be moving. I pretty much tap on everything. I'll come up with little rhythms and little patterns and little beats, and I'll just convince myself for like 10 whole minutes that I'm like a drummer in my imagination, and it keeps me amused for about 5 to 10 minutes on a good day. If I'm really stressed, you'll find me scratching the back of my head, and it's not an innocent scratch, it's a proper scratch, and I mean an intense scratch. We're talking I'm gonna scratch the shit out of my head. It's something I've grown up doing, literally scratching the back of my head, and what makes it 10 times worse is the fact that I have psoriasis, which is a skin condition, and it's like dandruff basically, but it's more scaly looking. Ooh, I'll find myself scratching this patch at the back of my head. It's just when I'm stressed or when I'm deep in thought, I'll find myself scratching the shit out of the back of my head, and there's this one patch, and I call it the danger zone. Or we could call it the danger patch. There's just this patch at the back of my head. It's like it's nowhere else almost. It's just like this focus at the back of my head. It's not a good habit to have. Some people have it a lot worse than I do. Mine is literally just a patch. Like I get psoriasis a little bit on my elbows, like if for whatever reason my skin is a little bit more dry than usual, and I get a little patch on the back of my head, but nothing too severe really, so I can't complain. I remember I had this special shampoo when I was about like 8 or 9 because that's when it was worse. I couldn't use normal shampoo or like scented shampoo. It would really irritate the shit out of my scalp, and it would just be so itchy. I remember in high school when I had head lice. We all had head lice at one point. Come on, well, most of us, 99% of us. We all had nits at some point in school. I remember it was the worst combination in the world, having nits and psoriasis. You'd think they didn't want to be anywhere near my very dry scalp, but they did. It must have kind of been like the Grand Canyon for them almost. They must have just been like, this is alright. It's kind of like snow, but it's warm and it's just great, and it's just like, this is amazing. But I remember, I had a bag on my head. I remember lying in bed one night and I had like a bag on the top of my head. It was like this lotion was smothered all over my head, and it was to kill the nits basically. And that combined with my psoriasis was horrible because I had this little patch on the back of my head. Even back then at that age, it was so sore. I just remember it was stinging, but it was so itchy. Not only the combination of the psoriasis being affected by like this nit treatment, but then obviously just psoriasis being psoriasis, and the fact that it was worse back then, and it was horrible memory of mine. And I don't know why I'm sharing that on the internet because it's probably pretty gross, but we keep it real on this channel. Side tip, if you have psoriasis, coconut oil is your best friend. Seriously, I love coconut oil. That is my gift to you if you have psoriasis on your scalp. I'll just get a little bit of coconut oil and I'll just kind of massage it into the problem area, and it's just bang on. So I think that's enough annoying habits for now. I can't think of any more annoying habits off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least like 10 more, but I figured I'd keep this shortish and sweetish. Let me know your annoying habits in the down bar, and remember that these things aren't necessarily things that I hate about myself. These are just things that I've accepted that I do, that are moderately annoying just to me, because I have to kind of live in this body. Well, we all have to live in our bodies, don't we? And we just do all of these little things. It feels good. Take a moment to subscribe if you like rambly ass bitches. I still don't know how to YouTube, and I've been here for longer than 5 years, which is worrying. Don't forget to like this video, or dislike if you disliked this. Shouldn't encourage the dislikes. We're only supposed to encourage the likes. I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye. All that talk about nits is making my head itchy. Oops.